What on guys, Commander here, and welcome to my first impressions and opinions review of General Grievous. Now, as of recording this, General Grievous in Battlefront 2 came out just this morning, so literally in the space of a couple of hours. Now, depending on when this video goes up, a couple of days ago I uploaded, on the day that it was released, I uploaded a bit of like an 8-minute gameplay of General Grievous, just to show you what he was like and how I played him. But today what I'm going to be going through is some of the things that what I generally think of General Grievous, some of the things I liked and some of the things that I didn't like, and what I think overall and what EA does could improve on with General Grievous. Now, as a whole, General Grievous is an amazing character. His star cards are perfectly fine. I haven't got any problem with that at all. The way he looks is absolutely astounding, and the way they implemented him is really, really good. What I don't like, though, is that we waited nearly a year for this to happen. So it took them a year to make General Grievous, and because the base model of him was found in the files during the beta, when the beta was launched nearly a year ago. And should it really have taken them this long to make General Grievous and get him released? Probably not. But I can understand, because of all things like the progression system needed revamping and everything, they did take them longer. But this should have been here about 4 months ago. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but that's just the way I see it. So yeah, that's just the way I think. You know, they could have quite easily made it, even if it was just like General Grievous, if it was just a General Grievous DLC just on his own, and have the Clone Wars DLC of being just General Grievous, Count Dooku, and Anakin Skywalker, you know, that would satisfy me. But you know, what can you do? Not a lot. So what I liked. Now, I've already said one thing that I liked. He looks absolutely amazing. The normal General Grievous default and the battle damage Grievous appearance look absolutely stunning. I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, that actually looks really, really good. You know, the posters and the pictures of General Grievous, like the promotional imagery that EA and DICE released, don't even do him justice. You have to see him in the game to know how good he is, and that, I think, just gives that extra, you know, hype up to say, you know what, this is finally here. We finally get to play him. He looks absolutely brilliant. It was well worth the wait. How much we shouldn't have waited that long, but it was well worth the wait. Now, something else I really did like quite a lot is his victory poses. Now, the victory poses. Now, I didn't actually expect General Grievous to have any victory poses. I didn't know why, but for some reason I didn't. But look at his victory poses. They look really, really intimidating. Now, for me personally, I've been a Star Wars fan for many years. I think it was just, I think actually the Clone Wars got me into Star Wars originally, but all the way through the Clone Wars and the Revenge of the Sith as well, I always thought General Grievous being very, very intimidating, especially the victory pose, the pose where he's got all 4 of his lightsabers out, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, just standing there looking at you. I found that really intimidating, and these victory poses do him very good justice as to how intimidating he is. Aside from the fact that they look absolutely brilliant, but they capture his like fear that he's meant to put into his opponents. I can imagine going onto the battlefront, playing Galactic Assault, playing on Kashyyyk, trying to take down droids, and then just suddenly see General Grievous swing his lightsabers in a big pose, coming towards me, like, oh my god, I need to run, because that's what he needs to like relay into his into other players, because that's what he's made for in the movies, to do, to intimidate the enemy and to kill, like, strike fear into his enemy before he kills them. So the victory poses are really, really well done. There's a couple victory poses in there that there was one victory pose in there that I didn't actually know why it was there. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the third one down on from all the list of victory poses. I don't know. There's one there. I might be completely wrong, but there's one there that I thought that I don't know why that's there. But the other ones, brilliant. I mean, not that that one didn't look bad. It didn't look good, but I didn't understand why it was there. But that's how I think General Grievous' victory poses look. They look brilliant. They make him look as intimidating as he is. And I can imagine, going into the leaderboard arena and seeing somebody who's just won as General Grievous and got into the top 5 playing General Grievous, and see just this victory pose taking up the entire screen of General Grievous with all his lightsabers out. I think that'll look really, really cool. And just another thing, this is only like a little small note. His emotes are really good. I really like his emotes. Now, since the update came out for PC, it came out at about 9:30 this morning. And since then, the data miners have been hard at work trying to decipher anything they can find out of the files. And they found a lot more emotes and voice lines that General Grievous is going to have in the future. But for these, the ones that are there, I actually am really happy that they're there. Because it's taken them for a mix of the movies and the Clone Wars. Like, you've got You Are a Bold One from Revenge of the Sith, and you've also got Your Planet Has Come to Ruination, Jedi, from the Clone Wars. So I like that switch between the two. So it's including everything that General Grievous has been in, which I think is really, really good. Now, the only thing is, I'm going to Google this and look it up on YouTube. I really can't remember, unless it was from the really old Clone Wars, the first Clone Wars TV series. I can't remember Grievous ever saying your screams like, your screams like joys to my audio receptors or something like that. I can never remember him saying that. I'm gonna Google it later and see where it comes from. It's more than likely, from the original Clone Wars TV series, the first one, not the 3D one, the 2D one, the one that's made by the same people that make Samurai Jack. So I'm gonna have a look at that later and see if I can find it. I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh yeah, it did come from there. I just completely forgot about it. But aside from that, emotes, I'm really pleased with the emotes. I'm listening to the ones that are gonna come later. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Also, in the little community trailer, they were saying how there's another Grievous appearance coming. Now, if that is the cloaked, the cloaked appearance where he's got his cape on, I think that would be really good. I really hope that is the one that it is. If it's not that one, I don't know which one it's going to be, so I'm quite interested for that, because General Grievous don't ever have many costumes or appearances. He's got his normal one, he's got his cape one. I actually thought the cape one with the cape was actually the one that was going to be the default appearance, but apparently not. And his battle damaged one, which I like I said earlier. So if it's not the cape, I'm not sure which one it's going to be, because he doesn't ever have many other appearances. So I hope it's that one, because that one with the cape is just very easy to do. But if it's not that one, then I'm very interested in what they're going to come out with. And the last thing on what I liked, Grievous' abilities. Now, his 3 abilities are actually, the reason why I like them is because they incorporate all of Grievous' features that he has in the movies and in the Clone Wars, and puts them into the ability. So the crawling ability, the 4 lightsabers and swinging them around, the one where he just lunges forwards and just stabs his enemies in front. I can't remember what that's called, but that is sort of new a little bit. I've never seen him do that before, but in any media that I've watched. But it's a nice little feature. I also like, just as a little tidbit, I didn't realise until I was playing the game that this is actually, maybe it's not where the inspiration came from, but in the Clone Wars, when the droids aboard in Kenobi's ship, General Grievous hops on board and starts throwing clones around. Now, in Battlefront 2, there's a bit where when you crawl, if you're near an enemy, when your crawl deactivates, you can sort of like tip a clone. You can grab hold of a clone with your foot. You can tip him over your body and kill him as he hits the ground. Now, I'm not sure whether that is actually something that's like got from that area from that specifically, but I like knowing that is something that's linked. So yeah, his ability sort of like put all of his different features into like ability to be like damaged. The only thing that is slightly irritating with that regard is, I know the one where he spins his lightsabers, his 2 lightsabers. That was got from Revenge of the Sith, where he spins his 2 lightsabers. But there's many other instances in the Clone Wars where he spins all 4 of his lightsabers. And I hope and I wish that EA and DICE would bring in a star card, which basically edits the ability, that specific ability, and have him swing all 4 of his lightsabers, because his other 2 are not exactly doing anything being there. So really, you're not gaining anything aside. He may as well just have his 2 lightsabers without them coming into 4, just swinging, because the other 2 lightsabers are not doing anything. So that's the sort of things that I just want to happen. I don't think it will, but that's just how, looking at it, I think that should be improved. Now onto the bits that I don't like. Now, there aren't very many of these, but it's things that I noticed while playing within the first like 10 minutes of playing as him that I noticed were a little bit irritating. And they're not big ones, and there are some things that, well, 2 of them are not very big ones, and things that could just be improved with just a simple patch. One's a little bit more, but it's still irritating, and it's not game breaking. And the first one is that some of his abilities are a bit buggy. Now, if you watch my gameplay that I uploaded a couple of days ago, you will notice that when I'm using General Grievous' abilities, if you're playing, let's say with only 1 hit kill on arcade, the abilities work perfectly fine, but the abilities sometimes, especially when you're playing, I was playing with default health on the enemies, and when you're playing like that, it can be that they're it's a very buggy ability sometimes. So when he's swinging his lightsabers, you can go up to a clone and it doesn't even damage them, and they're right in your saber. Now, maybe that is because it can only do damage every couple of seconds, but it's really irritating that is the way it is. And it's just something that, you know, I don't like, because it doesn't make it real. You know, if General Grievous was swinging his lightsabers, you could walk up to a clone, just instantly cut him in half. So it's one of those things, that really just irritates me. And another thing that sort of, I mean by buggy, is, I'm not sure whether this is a bug or whether this is just me not playing as him properly. But, using crawl, I ran into about 3 clone troopers and it did nothing to him. Now, maybe that's just me not playing as him properly, but that ability is a bit, that ability sort of ruins that for me, and is more like a getaway ability, and because it does damage, but I went through 3 clones and it didn't do any damage to them at all. And, so if that is the same in the actual online multiplayer, it's going to become the case that ability is just for getaway, and even so, you can still be shot really rather easily. So that's just something that's just that. So it's not like they're not game-breaking bugs, but they're things that would impact your game if you were in, let's say, a tight situation, and it's something that does need to be fixed. Again, it's not something that is like a major problem, and it's something that EA and DICE can just fix in a simple patch, but it's something that I think does need to be fixed. And another little mini bug is his stamina drains too quickly. Now, we've had this problem before with every other hero, and they fixed it relatively quickly. But if you watch when I'm trying to block, and if you watch it, I've watched other gameplays of this on PC and PS4 as well, so it's not just me. When you're blocking, your stamina drains so quickly, and it's really, really annoying. Now, it's not something that, again, that's something EA does have come across this problem before, because they had to do with every single hero, and now they just have to implement it with General Grievous. So I hope that will come in like a patch, like in the middle of the month, hopefully. So in the middle of November, I hope that would be a thing that comes in. But yeah, it's just something that's simple and quick. You know, I can only swing about like 15 times, I think, before my stamina reaches full. Whereas with let's say Darth Vader, I can swing for a solid 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes before my stamina decides it's going to just die. It's just, that is, again, it's not something that's a major problem. It's just annoying that is there. You know, I quite easily slayed all of those clones. I played that entire game without dying once. That you're watching as I'm talking. I didn't die once, but it's not something that is game breaking. It's just annoying. It's just an annoying bug that's there. So again, it's not a major problem that they can sort, but it's a problem nonetheless. And the next thing that I didn't like, now this was more about General Grievous himself, and this is never likely going to be changed, but it's something that I noticed as soon as I started playing as him, and even when I was watching the trailer on YouTube earlier in the morning, while I was waiting for the update to be launched, General Grievous' swings are very, very blocky. And when I say blocky, I mean more like Darth Vader's swings in Battlefront 2015. Now, and even just lightsaber heroes in general in Battlefront 2015. Now, as a lot of people have noticed the difference between Battlefront 2015, the lightsaber heroes would do it in individual swings. So you'd swing once, swing twice, and you just kill whatever came in your way. Battlefront 2, it's more of like a multi-swing action, so it's a lot better in that regard. But with General Grievous, it's not as bad as 2015 Battlefront was, but it's still very blocky, and it's still it's not smooth. Now, again, this isn't something that impacts the game at all, it doesn't, but for somebody who knows that General Grievous is not like that, because he is very smooth in his swings, it's really it irritates me, because I know that that's not what General Grievous is like 100%, but I don't... It's hard to explain. I can live with that. I can live with General Grievous being like that, but it's something that's always going to bug me. And this, I know EA is never going to fix this or make it a bit better, because it requires them to redo General Grievous' animations completely. But it's just something that's just really irritating that they could have done quite easily. And just analyze all of General Grievous's swings from both the Clone Wars and the TV show. But he's not that blocky. He hasn't got that much blocky swings. And when you look at it and you're there's all of this goodness within General Grievous, and then you have that, which just sort of, that's the main base attack, and that's how it looks. And it sort of spoils it a little bit. Not entirely, but it spoils it in a sense. So, if they could sort that out, I'd be very much appreciated, but I don't think they're going to. So anyway, after all of that, what do I think of General Grievous? I think he's a brilliant character. I really enjoy playing him, and I will enjoy him for a long time. And I really, from what we can see of General Grievous now, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Kenobi, Dooku, and Anakin Skywalker are going to look like, and how they're going to be. The little bugs and little things I didn't quite like about General Grievous, they're not game breaking, they're just irritating. And two of them, which is the bugginess and the stamina drain, is something that's probably already reached EA and DICE, and are probably working on a patch for it now, and it'll be out within the next week or two. So I'm very confident that's going to be fixed. So General Grievous is I'm really impressed with him. So after all of that, that's what we have time for in this video here. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming content. If you tell me what do you think about General Grievous in the comment section below, and I'll reply to you and see what each of your opinions on General Grievous is as well, because I'd like to know what the people think of him, because I really do enjoy playing as General Grievous. It's just those little things that sort of spoil it a little bit. So if you want to let me know, then do post in the comments below, or message me on Twitter or something like that. So after that, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all later. Bye.